Welcome to the next edition of the Multifamily Investor Nation Summit Speaker Intro Series. With us right now is Ryan McKenna, coming in from Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you, Dan. Excited to be here.
Yes, I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm going to be sharing with our audience a little bit about, you and your background, so they kind of have a little bit more background knowledge about you before they come hear you speak at the summit. Looking forward to having you there. So why don't you get us started and kind of tell us a little bit about you and your background?
Sure. So I been a passive real estate investor for the last 12 years or so. I really got introduced to multifamily and in the syndication business in the early 2000s, where I was playing baseball at Arizona State. You can see I'm a big baseball fan here. And a teammate of mine, his father was an apartment syndicator, and I always thought it was really cool when he'd come into town and buy these large apartment complexes. And so one day I kind of just took some interest and kind of curiosity set in, and I wanted to know how he did it all. And he kind of shared with me what syndications were all about. And I said, one day I want to be able to do that. And I guess, back then I learned about, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, about, buying income producing assets through that book. And that kind of became like a blueprint for me, as I, started to kind of get into my investing career on the side, which was something I always, have done. And I love the syndication business model because you can be, a full-time working professional and start building up, some nice wealth on the side and some great passive income streams. So if I fast forward, I started, dipping my toe in the water with single family rentals, like most that want to get into the real estate investing space, and quickly learned that wasn't something that I had, an interest in kind of scaling, because it was going to be very difficult. And to be honest, it wasn't worth the time I was putting into it versus, the returns I was getting. And the syndication business was really appealing to me because, typically when I invested in single family, it was in a market that, was local to me, that I knew, but I just couldn't get access to some of these other great markets across the country. And being here in lovely Chicago, there's some other warm weather, tax friendly states where, there's great population, job growth, and I wanted to be part of that. And so kind of the syndication model really lended itself well to that. So about 4 years ago, I started investing passively in syndications, and I did about 12 deals, as a passive investor. And that's really where I learned about the business. And as I was doing that, I was sharing what I was doing with other people in my network, friends and family. And they said, you know what, I want to do that as well. Looks like you're doing well with it. And that was kind of the impetus for starting McKenna Capital, to basically create this platform where other investors could get access to some great deal flow. And so I kind of work closely as co-GP on the deals we're putting together, and work with the investors on helping them find some really good opportunities. And we're all kind of in this together. I look at it as like a team sport. We're all participating in a little piece of the deal as our capital is kind of being put to work. And from there, the business just really took off. And I think we've been, raising capital for about 15 months now. We've done over 20 deals, and we've, purchased over, 5,000 units through the co-syndication model, and have a total portfolio value, of over $500 million of assets. And it's really just, again, me being a passive investor, it's changed my life. Doing it through syndications it's kind of a new path, and it's one that can happen very quickly. I was able to walk away from a full-time job a couple months ago, and through real estate syndications was able to become financially independent. And I think that there's something that people can learn about, a different path to doing so. And I just want to help educate people that are interested in this space that it's a real possibility. And it's just been fun kind of building the relationships with others. And I look forward to, again, being on the panel again this year. And, I truly enjoy, what I'm doing with others.
Ryan, I want you to share with us a little bit about what you're going to be speaking on at the event. I know you're going to be on that panel, but what exactly are you going to be doing on that panel and speaking on?
So I'm going to be speaking on raising capital. It's an area that I think I've learned a lot over the last 15, 16 months or so, from starting kind of with smaller raises to multi-million-dollar raises, and just what it's like to work with investors, and then on the other side working with the GP and kind of playing that investor liaison role, and where we've had success, where we've maybe had some areas where we can improve upon. And I think the raising capital is a very hot topic right now, and there's a lot of value that can be provided by someone who is bringing capital to deals. And so I'm going to talk about some of the mechanics of that, some of the strategies that I use, what's worked well for me. I've gotten a lot of feedback from investors that have been really happy with kind of the model that we operate with. But at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to the communication and just building a great positive experience. And so I'm going to share some of the things that I think will work well and help others raise capital to their best ability.
Well, I know I enjoyed listening to your session and some of the comments that were on those panels from the some we had in January of this year, and the panels were one of the top things, and one of the top rated sessions of all of the sessions that we have at the summit. And coming up in June, just less than about 4 weeks from now, we're going to be having some more panels. So we have the Raising Capital one, as well as several different other ones that are new and different from the first summit that we did. And so for those of you who are listening, go check it out at mfinsummit.com and see the other speakers and the other speaker lineup, as well as the other panels that we're going to be doing. But I really enjoy the Raising Capital panel because wherever you are in the syndication space, whether it be syndication or even as a JV partner, you got to learn and know how to work with investors and raise the money for your particular projects if you're not writing them, swiping that check yourself. So Ryan, why do you think it's important for somebody who is maybe on the fence right now, kind of deciding maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't attend this event? What would you say to that person to kind of convince them, or kind of let them know as to why it's important for them to be able to attend an event like this, no matter what the cost is?
Yeah, I would say it's very important for anyone that's interested in getting into real estate investing, or someone that's already into it, because you're going to learn so much. I mean, the panel that you assembled of speakers is the who's who of the real estate investing world, more specifically the multifamily space. And I'm just even looking forward to just learning so much from the other speakers. But there's just going to be so much value, so much content. The way you set it up with it being virtual and having the recorded videos is just a great way for people to learn. But at the end of the day, it's all about networking too. And I just think the platform lends itself very well for connecting kind of even after the event. So yeah, there's just so much content, so many different topics. I think you're covering every aspect of, being a successful, real estate investor. So, for what it costs, I mean, it's a no-brainer to be part of this, and really no excuse if you're truly interested in wanting to either begin this journey or kind of take your business to the next level. You don't want to miss it.
Well, and you have a special promo code that'll help them even more to be able to get $100 off their ticket when they go to mfinsummit.com. You want to share that promo code?
It's McKenna.
Very, very simple, very easy. Just McKenna. Type that into the box as you're checking out on the MFI and Summit page. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being with us this morning and sharing a little bit about yourself and your background and what you're going to be speaking on. Looking forward to seeing you next month at the summit.
Thanks, Dan. Looking forward to it as well.